First semifinal. In the top left, we do have the blue Zerg. It's FXO Lucky.
And there we go. His opponent in the lower right, spun in green, representing Team Acer. It's none other than Bly. Now,
CBZ on this map, man.
well, I was gonna ask, have you seen a lot of Bly's playstyle?
No, not really. I've seen some of it, but
You know, I know White Ra is like the king of special tactics, and no one can take that name away from him. But if it came to ZVZ special tactics, Bly would be the White Ra in this scenario. He does a lot of crazy stuff. One of my favorite games I got to see a little while ago, he went like Broodlord Infestor versus Nurchio in like a best of 5 finals. It was Star Station. I mean, like, the game got really drawn out, but it was crazy, and like we had Spinecrawler versus Spinecrawler wars, if you can envision that.
yes, I can. The old free unit war of ZVZ endgame.
Yeah, so what's kind of cool is, like, I want to see, maybe not super special tactics, but we got someone like Lucky who plays very straightforward. I've not seen him really cheese often, if at all. I don't see him go for any crazy types of builds. Bly, though, we'll see if he plays standard or if he decides to go a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of trouble. Of course, Lucky, once again, guys, we casted him last series. Amazing series, you didn't catch it, but he is on the Korean server, unfortunately, and this is on EU, so not too favorable for him. Might make Bly try some early pressure with Ling Bling, you know, really take advantage of the fact that Lucky might not have the best micro right now.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, and it's not because of anything against his skill, but I mean, nobody wants to deal with Banelings. It's already intense enough when you've got the perfect amount of response time.
Yeah. But with a little lag as well, I just cannot imagine it. 1 second you're racing towards, next second 40 Lings died to a Baneling, and you're just like, well, that just happened. Can be very unfortunate. Hopefully, though, Lucky does, you know, survive at least. I'm not sure if he'll be opting to go for any, like, mid-game Ling Bling wars, honestly. He'll probably be defensive and then go for the roaches.
Roach Wars, man. The new Mutalisks. No, actually, they're a lot more intense than Mutalisks, I find, because Mutalisks would be like so anticlimactic. You couldn't even watch who was winning, but Roach Wars, you can see the concaves, you can tell who's got the upgrades. Like, it's a lot more dynamic. I mean, I know it's still the same sort of like slugfest of like who can punch harder faster, but it's a lot more dynamic, and I really enjoy watching it. But my favorite part of every ZVZ definitely comes in that early game. Those Baneling circling wars.
That is my favorite part about ZVZ, honestly. I'm a little sad that we might not be seeing it as much. Oh my god, no kidding. What's my mic? But that is my favorite part, so I'm a little sad that we may not be seeing it.
I thought you said no kidding, like, for a second.
Oh, no kitten. Nope.
Meow, meow. But okay, Lucky now taking his gas a little bit later than Bly's course, but not by a significant margin. Belshire is not, it's not a very large map, but it's large enough that the minute difference of having speed versus no speed should not play too big of a role in this game.
Yeah, it usually doesn't. Of course, Lucky is going to have that much later everything for the time being, so just with the earlier hatch. Nope, same timed hatch, never mind. But not really going to see any deviation for quite a while here, unfortunately. But like you said, Bly has some very interesting ZVZ. He does still have guys in gas after the 100, so should be doing some, at least a Baneling Nest. Lucky does get 2 Lings in here, though. Scouts most of everything.
Yeah, that's kind of irritating to deal with, because like, even late in the game when there's like 19 Lings guarding, one Ling can easily get past and just count everything in your base. Like Zerg versus Zerg, they might as well not even have the Fog of War on, but actually gets a drone kill there.
Yeah.
Almost gets 2, actually.
Little misslip by Bly right there. He also sees just how much gas is taking for sure. He knows he needs to be at least a little wary. Baneling Nest does go down as expected right at that front to help with that Sim City, as they call it. Lucky, meanwhile, just gets a Spinecrawler to help out on his defensive side. And once again, unfortunately, Bly has to pause.
Okay, because he's having some problems. Maybe it's the sound bug. That is something that's been prevalent for quite some time, and be very annoying for players to have to deal with.
Yeah, he could just be trying to do it if he's getting a lot of lag as well. Like sometimes people pause and then it fixes itself for at least a little while. Unfortunately, you only do get 3 pauses, so
special tactics, like the total, like you start the fight, hit pause, total BM. But why is Lucky? Oh, wait, okay, never mind.
Mistake. Nope.
No, on purpose. On purpose. He's waiting for the creep tumor to finish hatching because he needs to make a wall off there.
Yeah,
and it blocks the evolution chamber. I've actually, if you recall, to MLG, he unlost the game due to a spine or to the creep tumor positioning.
Yeah, I do remember catching that. That was not funny. That's not funny.
No, it was
actually
hilarious,
sad.
but incredibly sad for Hyun,
Yeah.
of course.
Pretty sad. So Bly is going for the aggression right now. A bunch of lings are on the way. They were spotted by the Overload, I believe. Lucky does have that
Going for
full
the
wall
full wall
now.
off. Okay.
Not taking chances.
This is pretty cool too, because this stops Baneling busts as well. If the Banelings collide into the Evolution Chambers, well, guess what? You transfuse the heck out of them. But, oh no, canceling both! Oh, just reposition, okay. I was gonna say, wait, you can't deal with, like, that big of a hole in your wall, not when you know there's, like, 12 lings right outside your base.
A little risky. Well, Bly is getting his lair around the same time that Lucky's. Lucky's will finish first. You get an Overseer into Bly's base, and of course, Scout everything is also always very, very useful. 4 gases going up for Bly. He's seeing some mutas.
Mutas versus roaches are actually kind of common. It's interesting too, because roaches are durable enough, they can actually take the hits from the Mutalisks, so it's not that big of a threat. But the really scary thing is Lucky is going to be denied his third base for quite some time. These lings just roaming around, they're not looking to kill the game, but they're going to try and contain so that he can't get his own third base. And meanwhile, Lucky scouts, okay, Bly's already halfway done his hatchery at the third. I can't really hesitate for too long.
And unfortunately, when you don't have speed like Lucky does not, sniping that third with like 15 lings, you know, mid-late game is not going to happen. Bly will have that option much more available to him than Lucky, and on this map, it's a really big deal. It is very accessible to that third, so definitely important. Spire does, in fact, go down for Bly, so Lucky could try and go for a push with roaches, do as much damage as possible, let the roaches die, but buy time to get up his defenses at home. Looks like he just wants to stay at home for now, though.
Yeah, Lucky, I mean, he's... Hang on, did he actually scout the Spire with the Overseer? He did. So, we should see Spore Crawlers come down here shortly. And, I mean, turtling up like this isn't a bad choice, but, oh! Almost got in there. Decided to back off at the last second. There was a hole in that wall in the natural. So, it could have been close there. But, of course, you're kind of limited on what you can do with a small handful of lings.
What's really nice is that he was actually taking out the creep tumors. He forgot to take out one, like he barely didn't get it, but he did get the one behind it, and that's really important because you're going roach style, you want to get hydras or infestors, and the queens especially want to get down to the third and defend it. I can see here it is going to go down right now. So when you take away the creep tumor, and then you have these very
cancel.
Oh, okay, well that sucked. Very mobile mutas, and there's no queens to protect him. That actually really hurts the player going for roaches, so nice play by Bly. Roaches at the front, though. He has a full wall up with 2 spine crawlers. Should buy enough time.
Actually, Bly canceling that with some really great control. Spine crawlers will go down either way, though. A nice split there from Lucky, too. I don't know if anyone caught that. He actually focus fired both to low and then split his roaches half and half. But meanwhile, some going into the main, some staying here at the natural. Lots of damage going to be dished out regardless. I mean, Bly might be satisfied with dealing with the third, but now he's got to deal with all these roaches back at home, picking off a ton of drones while this goes on.
Yeah, unfortunately getting into the base was terrible, and not a whole lot of lings either, just mutas. No lings at all. They are just dying right now, and there weren't that many to begin with. Yeah. Roaches finally do pop out.
But Lucky's got the +1 weapons, Bly does not. So he can't even take a straight-on roach fight. Not even caring to deal with the roach here at the third base. It's just going to focus on the hatchery. A really intelligent choice.
Yeah, no way they're going to die in time.
Yeah, he should be able to get this. It's going to be close, actually. A lot closer than it should be. One more hit. No, 12 health. Roaches do 16. He's got to come back in with one more.
Oh, there
18, sorry. Roaches with the +1 on weapons. But, yeah, that is... Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get in and get out. Actually, not even going to get out. They might actually go down to the broodlings.
Oh, nope.
But okay, the big thing there was not the third basin now. That was actually pretty huge, make no mistake, but he got a lot of drones while that happened.
Game paused.
Third and final pause is burned here for Bly, but 20 workers were killed with that crazy onslaught.
Yeah, really unfortunate from Bly.
Zombie grub. Really big thing. Look around. We have the Mutalisks coming across the field. The spore crawlers aren't done yet. They're not even halfway.
Yeah, there are a few queens though that can definitely help out. There's actually 5 queens and the Hydra Zen is done, so the mutas are not going to be able to do too much for too long.
Man, this is... Okay, he didn't go for the base, so now the spore crawlers are done. It's not as big of a threat. We got Hydralisks, of course, on the way, but these front 3 buildings are so unprotected. He could pick off that Roach Warren, and I feel that would be pretty devastating. Go for the queens
just wants
instead.
to go for the queens.
Transfuses. Keeps it alive. One more, not one more available. Hydralisks pop out. He's got a chance to use the Hydralisks. But they drive him off for the time being, but Bly is just looking to be in a really rough patch right now.
Yeah. I mean, the supplies aren't as big as they once were, but he is still down by 20 as well as about 10 drones.
Transfuse again. Keeps that queen alive.
looks like he just wants to try and do some significant damage right here, right now with the roaches and mutas that he does have. But with the wall up, with as many roaches as Lucky has, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, this is... I mean, I understand what Bly's doing. He's stuck in a situation where he can't afford to sit back. He knows he's behind from that first attack. He has to cause damage, and he's doing some great harass right now, but that's all it is. Until he does, like, he's got to pick up one of these tech buildings, stop the armor, the weapon upgrades, you know, something, anything. But he's still limited on what he can do. The Hydralisks are so good at dishing out damage to these Mutalisks.
Yeah, they have the range right now, not the speed. That's okay, he's going to play defensive anyways, get that third up. Meanwhile, Bly is trying to get his own third while behind. Getting a few more mutas as well. Usually at this point you'd see them just go entirely into roaches, but I mean, his opponent already has more roaches, so you really can't do the same thing your opponent does, but worse, can you?
No, and it's not even just the roaches, it's the fact that he's lacking those upgrades as well, so the Hydralisk on top of all of this is going to be that much more deadly. I like that he's leaving the Hydras at the third, though. He knows Bly wants to snipe this off and keep him back as long as humanly possible.
And unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. There's just way too good of a defense from Lucky. +1 will finish from Bly, so he is planning on moving in to Roach Hydra, which is going to take a very long time, still investing into those mutas. Burrow also on the way. Not going to do too much, though.
That could actually be really useful depending on how this goes. We saw, I saw in the WCG for Canada, Jig was running Hingelisk wild, but just constantly burrowing 2 or 3 roaches at the natural, 2 or 3 at the main. They heal up so quick, they're so hard to deal with. They can be quite effective in low numbers.
Once again, trying to get to this third, it's not quite working out. Do get a queen or two. This higher count is probably catching Lucky a little off guard, but does have enough Hydras to go ahead and push that back. Spore Callers, of course, do 3-shot mutas. Yeah, so
it's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lucky,
one Spore Crawler is pretty much guaranteed to pick off like 2 or 3 Mutalisks, even if it gets like 2-shot. But Roach just in the middle of the field, awkwardly going to take a little bit of pepper here. Should only lose really a couple. The Hydralisks are not too far off. There we go.
Does need to wait for speed, though. I feel like if he wants to attack, definitely invest into that speed. So over just playing defensive. Bly does get Infestation Pit. That's what I was wondering.
Both players going for the Infestation Pit even.
Well, that's what I was wondering about the burrows. If he had infested, if we had infestors rather with burrow, that could actually maybe bring him back into the game.
Sneak past what you can on the field.
Oh, getting up this third. Lucky just going for it.
Yeah, he's going to just try to end the game right here. He's like, you know what, Bly, I'm sick of chasing you around the field. Let's see what we can do. And the Roach is colliding on top of Roaches. Again, +2 versus +1. The Roach battle alone will go in the favor. Banelings are coming in because they want to connect to those Hydralisks. But as long as Lucky keeps a Roach wall, he should be perfectly fine.
Right. If the Banelings can connect with all the Hydralisks somehow, some way, then they just can come in and eventually clean up the Roaches. Not before they do way too much damage, though. Bly only down by 20
going down. Baneling Nest now going to follow suit. There's such a big hit squad here from Lucky, and he's actually got his back end covered here too. Roaches from the behind won't even be that big of a threat. Bly's cutting reinforcements, which is actually kind of critical at this stage, but he can't take this army head on. Huge Baneling mines, though. Oh my god.
Oh, there is an Overseer. There is an Overseer.
Okay, so yeah, these aren't actually that scary. I was going to say, if the Hydras walk over them, this could actually change the game in his favor, despite losing the natural, but not even going to push up to the main. Goes towards the third. Lucky playing so tactically smart here. The Spine Callers are not done yet for Bly. He's in a lot of trouble here, Zombie Grub.
Yeah, a lot of trouble. It doesn't really cover it either. The third will go down. Banelings are going to try and be the heroes, I suppose, of this game, but no, they back off. Really, there's not much that Bly can do. Maybe go for a base trade at this point, but all the mutas will go down as he tries to fight with them.
Oh man, a valiant effort to stay in this game. The Banelings try and come forward, but the Mutalisks are just not enough. They killed quite a few of the Hydras, but good game is thrown down. And Lucky will take game 1.